to Life Unscripted.
No, that's not how you do it.
That's not how you do what?
This is Life Unscripted.
I don't like that we're
Why
shredding
are you
our logo.
shredding our radio station?
I feel like that's a bad
Is that a
sign.
threat?
That was the script.
Is that a
It's
threat?
Oh.
visual. It's just a...
But it should have said
audio
script on it and not the logo.
Next podcast, we'll do it her way. But for today, I'm Craig Thomas.
I'm Mandy Bowman.
And I'm Jeff Lohman.
Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute.
Jeff, you're a lot prettier than normal. I'm just going to say, whatever you've been doing, it's working for you. Yeah.
By the way, I'm the only one not wearing makeup in this podcast. That is not Jeff. And there's a good reason for that. It's because of today's topic. And so we are representing every generation here. And Sam is with us. Properly introduce yourself, Sam.
I'm Sam. I'm usually behind the camera. So this is kind of weird. I don't know if I like seeing you guys
Kind of weird.
with the lights so close.
It's a little different.
But I am the producer of this podcast, and we decided to kick Jeff off. I made the decision.
So-
Somebody had to do it.
But you're technically Gen Z, right?
Yeah.
All right, and I'm a millennial, and Craig's an old guy. So we have a good cross section of our demographic here to talk about what is our topic today.
Samantha actually brought it to us, and that's why we dragged her out from behind the camera, because she, I think, knows more about it, and it affects you more. What is our topic?
I'm scared to say it.
Don't be scared.
Okay. How should Christians approach dating apps?
Dating apps.
Dating apps. Do you know what those are?
Isn't that what Eve brought to Adam?
Nope.
No,
Nope,
not a
that's
dating
an
apple.
Oh.
No.
That's an
I
apple.
just thought it was short for...
Nope.
Oh.
Dating apps.
Okay. Explain for our audience who may be like me and not familiar with dating apps. Now, I know what they are, but how would you describe them?
Well, they're an app in which you date people. I don't know how to explain it. It's like
It's
there's
actually finding
people
dates,
on
right?
there.
Right.
Yeah, there's people on there, and you put your profile picture on in your description, and it's like swipe either which way, if you like them, if you don't like them, and then you match with them, and then you talk, and then you decide if you want to
Go out on a date or not.
Yeah.
Think about when you're looking for a job. Think of it as like
Indeed.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
You're actually applying
Yeah, basically.
for someone
Yeah.
for a relationship. You're applying for a relationship, pretty much. So, how does that apply in the Christian world, or does it even? Were they around when you dated?
The apps were not, the dating apps weren't really a thing when I was dating, but there was still a big push for online dating, which now is just on your phone instead of just on your computer. But the same deal, you fill out a profile, you put out all your info, you try to match with some people and see what happens. And that's a crazy kind of world, though. Let me tell you, it's just, you never quite know what you're getting. And I think that's one of the big problems of it.
A perfect example of that is my first recollection of that kind of thing. You've Got Mail, the movie. Remember that?
Yep.
It started with email,
Yep.
that kind of social interaction, which led to the apps we know today. I think that was a form of it. How people interacted with email without seeing each other and getting to know them online at the time. That's where we've come today. We didn't have that in my day. Is dating, how different is dating itself these days?
A lot. It's very different.
So are the apps needed, you think?
That's a good question. I feel like in this day and age, like everything that you do is on your phone. Like social media and, just all these different things. I feel like back then, like, you didn't have a cell phone in your pocket that you did everything on, but now,
places
you went places and you actually like made the decision to like go out to places and meet people, and you would meet people in public. But now that just doesn't really happen. We kind of just stay to ourselves in public and are all out online. So I feel like I wish they weren't necessary, but they kind of are.
There are a lot of challenges that come with dating apps and online dating that I think Christians just really need to be super aware of. One of those is, I mean, you hear on the news all the time of catfishing examples. You know, someone presenting themselves.
Where a catfish, they like give you a catfish.
No, that's not what that means. That means someone is completely misrepresenting themselves to either mess with the heart, maybe get money out of someone, and really it's ends up being a manipulation game. And it's not cool, but that happens on the regular basis. People misrepresenting themselves, and you think you're talking to, like, I could think I'm talking to Sam, but Sam is actually, you know, a 57-year-old man living in Detroit. You know, that's just
accurate.
Now we're back to Jeff. We're back to being Jeff.
But that's one of the scary things about online dating is you, especially if you're starting out online and keeping it online for some time, keeping it within the apps, you're not really getting to see that actual person for who they are. Mm-hmm. You're just getting some communication with them. You might be talking about some of the best aspects of you, but they're not going to get to see you in person behaving in certain ways or reacting in certain ways to just regular life things. And that's so very important when it comes to picking someone you're going to spend the rest of your life with.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the real life danger of dating apps. What about the spiritual risk?
So the spiritual side of it is, I think that number one, setting boundaries is like super important, especially when like people don't know who you are on this app and you don't know who the other people are. So I think that setting boundaries, most importantly with yourself, is really important, because like you can't just go on this app with the intention of finding someone and then they're not the type of person that is, you know, godly or righteous, and they end up, you know, being very harmful to you and your spiritual life. So I think that setting boundaries with yourself and knowing when someone is not the right fit for you is really important. If you just like match with everyone on there and then, you know, just meet all these people and, you know, you're gonna be in with the wrong crowd.
I saw someone do that recently. They're like, it's a numbers game. I'm just gonna match everyone and then see what happens after that. I'm like, this is the horrible way to do anything, right?
So does that start with the type of app that you use, dating app?
Yes.
Is it, how important is it?
Some are more wholesome than others. I would say that.
But most of the apps that you find out there right now, the popular ones, I feel like they trend more towards a hookup culture instead of trying to find a real someone to spend the rest of your life with. And especially from the Christian perspective, you want someone who's got the same beliefs that you do, who wants to follow Jesus like you do, and you're typically not going to find those on some of your more popular dating apps.
So is that a reflection of culture itself? Do you think the generations have come down to not being interested in a true relationship? It's about hookups.
100%. Yeah.
It's sad.
It's very sad.
So how does someone like Samantha, who is not interested in that, what do they do? That's pretty much what our podcast is about today, and how to get through the maze of dating apps. It starts perhaps with using a reputable, or at least one you think is a Christian dating app that at least is a filter, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of difficult to decipher who is like a Christian and who is not.
Do you think that that's something you can tell just by looking at a very brief profile photo and description? Or is that something that really needs to be examined in a real world setting?
Well, I think that people make decisions based on other people in a real world setting like that, because
Mm-hmm.
we all judge people like by, we judge them like a book. We just look at the cover. And I think that the real way to see if someone is in the same spiritual and, in the same relationship with God that we are, we have to reach out and make that connection with them and talk to them. So I think that, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter how you end up talking to this person. It matters how, how they, set themselves to be in this conversation. And obviously you can't just have a conversation with someone on a dating app. You have to talk to them in public and make sure they are this person that they say they are. But I think that either way, we're going to judge people by their outward, So I think that it's okay to meet people on dating apps, but you have to reach out and make that connection in person, because you can't just have a relationship on a dating app. You have to see them in person and talk to them and make sure that they are a godly person.
All right, tell us, how do you picture a date going?
I didn't know this. I didn't know this is where this is gonna go. What?
This is important.
Okay.
I mean, you just can't.
Okay.
We can't talk about dating apps and just leave it there. Boom, magic. Dating app. You've matched up with somebody. What does Sam expect on the first date?
Okay.
How do you picture that going?
Okay. Obviously, meet in a public place. A restaurant, get food. No pizza on the first date. That's a deal breaker for me. Don't take me to a pizza place. Dog park. You have to have a dog, obviously. Bring the dog. Dog park. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Make sure the dog is in your profile photo.
Is the dog
Obviously.
the chaperone? Is that pretty much what we're saying here?
Yeah. Ice cream. Get the dog a pup cup. And then go home so I can be in bed by 8.
Okay, I think we have the beginnings of a profile. I consulted perhaps the one person in the Bible that we know was biblically sound, who was in the age, perhaps, of what we would call dating today, and that was Timothy. As a disciple, we know he was a young man, and his advice was flee youthful passions and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. Although there was no such thing as dating back in his time, boy, I think that applies. If we lay aside our youthful passions and pursue righteousness, this actually aligns with the verse, seek God first, and then everything else will come. I think he's saying the same thing about relationships here. Faith, love, peace, and do it, whatever you do, along with those who call on the Lord also. I think that can apply to dating as well and finding the right person. If you lay aside your wants, seek God's desires first, then he will bring your desires home to you. And as you do those things, do it with people who are like-minded, spiritual like you. I think that's the answer to finding a mate and how you work on these dating apps. We'd love to hear from you, what you think and your experience perhaps as a Christian using dating apps, or why you don't.
Yeah, what do you think? You can let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Maybe you've had an experience in this regard, good or bad. That would be great to know and share with some other people who are wondering the same kind of question. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Life Unscripted.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Those are Bible verses.
Yeah, that is scripture.
What are you
It's in my heart. It's where it should be, right? And it's also on my phone.